Hello, my name is Nick. I'm being interviewed today because, I grew up in the scene. I grew up straight edge, and shit kind of went off the rails for me. I ended up with a really crippling Xanax addiction that landed me in detox, but that I never really, fully got anything from that, and I just kind of lived with it for a while. And now I'm getting sober. I'm trying to do good for myself, trying to do good for my friends, for my family, and yeah, that's about all you gotta know about me.
So tell me your story. How did you went from straight edge and how did that change?
Well, I grew up with a brother who was very, very deeply involved in the hardcore scene. He played guitar briefly in Downpresser. He was straight edge, and whenever I found myself living in the same home as him, I looked up to him. I looked up to him because he was good with computers, he was good at guitar, and I wanted to be just like him. He's now a meth addict. He needs to go into detox soon. I don't know what happened with him. All I know was he was straight edge, and I wanted to be like him. And I thought, okay, my dad was an alcoholic. He passed away a few months ago, so I thought, I never want to be like my dad, so I'm going to be like my brother. I'm going to be straight edge. I'm not going to fuck with any substance. I grew up skating a lot, and, in maybe the 5th grade, my friends were talking about weed. It was just weed. That's all my best friend was talking about. And I was like, okay, I need to try this. Fuck whatever my brother says, because I was like 11 years old, you know what I mean? So I went into middle school. I started smoking weed, and most of the rest is a blur. I dealt with horrible bouts of depression that I still deal with, but I'm learning to cope with them sober. And my friends and family know about these more than anyone. I have a working bipolar diagnosis, and that shit cripples me. And at some point during a really bad depressive episode, I decided that I didn't give a fuck about myself anymore, and I would try Xanax. And to me, it was the magic pill. It took away everything. It took away all of my problems. It made everything okay. And yeah, that was it. Maybe a year and a half later of abusing Xanax, I ran into a girl actually in this backyard, and we quickly got into a relationship, and because of her, I quit Xanax. But I still had my issues. I still was an alcoholic. I still could not go a week without, getting shit-faced. And if I didn't constrain myself, I would be getting shit-faced every single day. I would be stealing from liquor stores. I never had the balls to rob people because I'm a fucking pussy, but you shouldn't be doing that anyways. And yeah, substance just has filled my life. It's been a canopy over my life. It's been all I really know. And yeah, I don't have too much to say about that.
And how has your journey to sobriety, how is it right now?
How is it right now? Right now I am 106 days sober, I believe. I got sober after my father passed away in January. He passed away from a sudden aneurysm, and the only thing that was written on his death certificate was chronic alcohol use. Everyone knew he was an alcoholic. That was his defining personality trait. And after he passed away, it was a shock to my system, and I didn't know what to do. All I knew was I needed to get better. So that night, I met a man. I asked him for a cigarette, and he took me to my first Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. And ever since then, I've been in AA. I've been getting clean. I've been getting sober, and I haven't used in a number of months for the first time in years, it's a real shock to the system. Life is kind of hard to look at, but I'm doing my best,
And for people who want to be sober, who are struggling with addiction, what is your advice for them?
This is really horrible advice, I'm aware, but it's the only thing that helped me. And by horrible advice, I mean, I'm sure you've been told it, but, talk to people, talk to your family, talk to your friends, tell them you want to get clean, have them hold you accountable, because accountability is the one thing that will keep you sober. Nobody is responsible for your sobriety but you, and on account of that, you need to be held accountable for it. There's several people you can talk to that will, introduce you to maybe a program like Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous if you're interested in that at all. But even if you're not, accountability from others is the one thing that can keep you sober beyond all. So that's my advice. You know, you could even talk to me. I'm always open for people who are searching for sobriety. Absolutely.
And a question I ask everyone, bands and people who attend these shows, is that what is your opinion on heavy drugs being sold at all ages shows?
Well, to me, alcohol is a heavy drug. To me, alcohol is the heaviest drug, and I think that it is entirely immoral to sell alcohol to minors. I think that minors, especially in this scene, are often peer pressured into use, and well, I know they are peer pressured into use pretty extensively because everyone is so fucked up, you know? I know people who never touched a drug in their life, they came to these shows, they started getting shit-faced. As for NOS, I don't believe NOS is a minor or not minor thing. I believe that NOS is immoral to sell to anybody. I think that selling NOS to anybody is like selling meth to anybody or selling crack to anybody. You are killing them. You are making them die. You're fucking killing them. It's not moral in any context, and I think that if you sell NOS for a profit, you are scum. And I think you are the same as the drug dealers that, you know, Earth Crisis wrote about in fucking Firestorm. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? That's my opinion.
For bands and venues,
I don't know.
for the bands and the venues, do you believe that they should start speaking out against the sale of these things to little kids? Like, do you think they should start speaking out?
I've been in several bands. We were all bums, so none of us ever played shows, but we played like a few shows. But our policy was we wouldn't play shows with NOS, and I think that if you're a band who wants to keep the scene alive and cares about your listening base, then you have no fucking right to be playing shows that are selling NOS to kids. Not to anyone, but especially not the kids, because let's be real, it's mostly teenagers at these shows, you know? And as for venues, you shouldn't be allowing that shit, period. That's my opinion. I don't care if it's, you know, people's fucking right to put whatever they want in their body. If it's your right to put NOS in your body, then go to work, get a fucking NOS tank, keep it at your house, do that. Don't be selling it to people, don't be putting that in other people's bodies. That shit is disgusting, and you're disgusting if you do it. That's my genuine opinion.
Okay, and I want to get to know you more.
Alright.
What's your favorite bands?
My favorite bands? Well, I grew up in the hardcore scene, but most of my favorite bands nowadays are more on the metalcore side. You know, Every Time I Die, Under Oath, Killswitch Engage, August Burns Red, fucking Shai Hulud, you know, Harm's Way, Knocked Loose. Those are some of my favorite bands. I like big breakdowns that I can fucking hit people to, but not too hard, you know what I mean? I like, you know, Growls, I like Fries, I like all that shit.
And what is your opinion on the LA scene?
Well, the harbor scene is very different from the LA scene. The harbor area scene I don't think is at all representative of the LA scene because in reality, most of the bands here, they're extremely small and they're what I like to call 1, 2, 3 bands. That's what I got from my brother. What that means is they are 1, drugs, 2, power chords, and 3, I forgot what the third thing was. But it's just drugs, power chords, and, you know, that shit. And that's cool. I like that. I like punk rock. But these aren't, you know, fully fleshed out bands that are planning to get signed and go big. In the LA scene, you have fucking bands like Twist of Cain or Pull Your Card or Sanctify or fucking Affliction. That's in the 805, but still, the 805 is basically the LA scene, let's be honest here. And those bands, they're real fleshed out hardcore bands. They play shows every week. They're fucking incredible. They're constantly working on getting their next EP or LP out. And I think the LA scene is thriving. I think hardcore is better than it's ever been. I think hardcore is the biggest it's ever been, and I think it's doing great. As for the harbor scene, shit is a little bleak down here. We have a lot of bands. I don't love them all. I liked Piss a lot. They're gone now. I pretended like I didn't like Piss because my friend had beef with someone in that band, but I kind of did like them. I like Deviated State. I know several members of Deviated State. Yeah. That's about it. I think it's pretty good. I think shit is good in LA. I think LA is really popping. I think LA is not as good as the Bay. The Bay is going fucking crazy right now. But yeah, I think the LA scene is really good.
And my other question for you is, being involved with the scene, would you say you're more happy?
Absolutely. This is my life. This is my lifeblood. Coming to shows, moshing, you know. It used to be getting drunk, but not anymore. Being with my friends. My buddy Sal is over there. My buddies Sonny and Ricky are over there. Take a little shot of them. I fucking love those guys. They keep me sober every single day. And you know, just being in the scene, it's incredible. So yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, by the way, Sean knows I'm here. Sean knows I'm here. Okay. Yeah. That's my AA sponsor, Sean. I've lied to him about shows before. I've told him I'm not going to shows, and then I go to shows. But, because he doesn't want me going to shows because he's scared I'm going to relapse, which is a possibility. But I can keep my own. And Sonny and Ricky are here, so I'm not going to relapse when they're around. I'm just going to stick with them tonight. So, yeah.
And what's happening tonight?
What's happening tonight? There's a little get down here, a little 420 punk show. You know, we're going to fucking blaze it. We're going to get lit. I'm going to be blazing, Marlboro Reds. Maybe some people are going to be blazing something else. I don't know. I have nothing to do with that. And Sedated Sensation are going to play. I like them. They're pretty good. Jackpot are going to play. I've seen them a number of times. I think I was acquaintances with, I believe, the guitarist when he went to San Pedro High School. And yeah, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a nice little punk show. I've been to this spot right here on First Street 250,000 times. Great fucking place. Only real spot we have in Pedro. We have the Sardine, but the Sardine is for pussies. Everything there is 21 plus, and they just play like legacy bands, and it's fucking stupid. So this is our only real spot here in Pedro. So I appreciate the fuck out of this place. I love this place. They started calling it the Pink Palace like 3 months ago. That wasn't a thing that they did before. I don't know why they started doing that, but I assume the person who owns it did it, and she's really nice. Like, she's fucking incredible. So, you know, I don't really care. It's cool. I like this place, and we're gonna have a fun time here tonight.
Awesome. Any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? I appreciate this interview. I appreciate you speaking to me. You know, I imagine a number of people are gonna see this who recognize me to at least some extent. You know, that's pretty cool. I hope you guys are having a great day. That's all I can ever hope for anyone. I used to hope a lot for myself, but now I just hope for others, and I notice that others are gonna hope for me, and things are gonna be okay. So have a great day, and I love you all.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.